Hello YNABers, my name is Jesse Meekum from YNAB. It stands for You Need a Budget. Yes, you do. This is another Whiteboard Wednesday. Why do you need a budget? Because everybody wants your money, honey. And I was at a payments conference this last few days ago. And in the payments industry, you have credit card processors that come. You have the big guys, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, Amex. You got the banks that underwrite those cards. You have the tech people that are interested in the payment space. You've got the device people, specifically Apple, Samsung, Google. You've got hardware people that build the terminals that everyone swipes and dips. I learned that phrase dip is when you stick your chip card in there, you dip it in. That's the industry phrase, scientific phrase. And what I learned at this conference, where everyone's looking toward the future, is that they are trying to make payments, and this is no surprise, but it's a good reminder, they're trying to make payments as frictionless as possible. Think about your experience on the App Store. If you're using an Apple device, their credit card is saved away. All you have to do is use your little Touch ID. Maybe with that new iPhone, the iPhone X or 10, are we supposed to say 10? Maybe you just look at it and they're like, look long enough, and then you've paid for it. I'm not sure how that facial thing will work. But they want to remove friction. Why? Because introducing friction to a buying process reduces the chance of the person buying. And I'm one of those merchants as well. We try and make our purchase process, if you want to jump into YNAB, we try and make it as smooth and just silky smooth, nice and buttery, to make sure that we don't have people fall by the wayside and not commit to doing their budget. So yeah, of course, if you're selling anything, you want that sales process to be as frictionless as possible. So in the future, what was talked about at this conference? All sorts of things. Things like paying for gas, you just drive your car up. Your car becomes a payment vehicle. Literally a vehicle, but also a payment vehicle. That was a big one. Obviously, the wearables are becoming more and more payment driven. You have all sorts of discussions from all the players around how do we get payments to be easier and easier and easier. Because, especially in the US, apparently, they all get a piece of that pie. So as I examine these large companies with their big sponsorships and they're hosting these breakfasts and all of this money flying everywhere, I just don't get the feeling that Visa and MasterCard and the bank that underwrite these credit cards, I just don't get the feeling that we're sticking it to them, with our savviness as it relates to using credit cards and then gaming the system and making money off of it. Net, they are winning. On an isolated basis, can you manage that? Absolutely. If you're sticking to a budget, yeah. But this isn't really a Whiteboard Wednesday about should or shouldn't you go for points and blah, blah, blah. What a boring topic. We've beat that to death. This is about the fact that these companies are trying to make sure more and more of the economy shifts to cashless so that they can make money on more and more of the economy. And if I were running the show, I'd be doing the exact same thing. So what you need to do, not switch to cash, but you need to recognize, well, one, that'd be great if you did. I have done all sorts of experiments with cash. I still think it's cool. I like the idea of having wads of it in places, but yeah, it's super inconvenient. And the whole world is shifting out from underneath you cash people, and it's tough to stick to your guns, right? So yeah, that aside, we're going to be using plastic and all sorts of other things that take our money. And those other things will be really magical, really frictionless, and you will just need to be really aware. And the only tool that really gives you that awareness is your budget. So I'm a fan of all this tech that will come out that will make things frictionless, as long as you are not aimless in your spending. If you are aimless, then yes, the credit card company wins with their little dupe around, hey, we'll give you points. They win. If you are aimless as it relates to like just walking out of Walmart, one of the most innovative payment companies in the world, massive tech going on there, and you can just walk out of Walmart and buy everything because of all the RFID chips that somehow do the magic and more magic, and then you've bought everything, you don't ever feel it, yeah, frictionless. Will people spend more at Walmart because of that tech? Yeah, because we know that friction reduces sales and a frictionless environment boosts it. I could show you all just examples from my own little world selling YNAB over the last 10, 15 years. it really makes a difference. So when you're dealing with an ever more frictionless environment, you just need to be ever more vigilant, ever more aware that your money does what you actually want it to do. I'm excited for the future as long as my budget is also oriented toward that same future. And at the end of the day, that my budget gets to decide what my future, financially speaking, looks like. I will see you all, and I am so looking forward to it next week.